What's up, everybody? This is BakaBites. I'm Frankfurter. That is Magically Average. And today, we're going to Men in Black ourselves. We are going to basically discuss three properties, whether it be movies, manga, or anime, that we really wish that we could just kind of Men in Black ourselves, forget we had watched it, and watch it again for the first time. But also, Men in Black ourselves in the sense that we are going to take three properties as well that we wish we had never seen the light of day of. So without further ado, I think you and I have a not necessarily large list. There are things that I feel like I would know that would be on your list, and I think that there are things that you would know that are going to be on my list. So there are some things that I'm going to try and stray away from, like kind of the more so classics of just like Cowboy Bebop. I'm not going to put that on there because I watched that at a critical time where I really needed to see that, and I wouldn't change that for the world. I
Mhm.
think if I go into that nowadays with the knowledge that I have, I probably wouldn't like it as much. I'm also not going to go in there saying Neon Genesis Evangelion. Like as much as I love NGE, again, that one's a little more difficult because I still watch it to today, like today, essentially, in which it's like if I did mind wipe myself, would I feel the same? It's like I don't know if I would necessarily or not. But at the same time, it's just not a show that I think anybody in this day and age should watch for the first time. It is a rough show nowadays. More so from the acting perspective and the main character perspective when we're gonna break down everything. But no, I still love that property. But I do have a solid list and something else that I just remembered that I would put on here as well for the reading bit. But yeah, I think the first and foremost thing I'm going to start with is manga. And it's going to be the one thing that really got me into reading both physically and digitally, and just manga in general, which is Chainsaw Man Part One. I wish I can mind wipe myself and read Part One all over again because of how insane that series is, like, or that part is.
Mhm.
As of right now, for the anime, I know we're only like I would say maybe 2/5 of the way through the material, nearing upon, like, half of it. So, I think that, like, knowing everything, maybe once the anime is out, I would say, yes, mind wipe me and let me binge it over again, but for now, like, I would say part 1 of Chainsaw Man, just mind wipe me, let me read that for the first time over again because I read all of it during the 2020 winter storm down in Texas, when we were just frozen into our houses and we couldn't really do much. We'd get power for about an hour. I would, charge my phone, download as many chapters as I could, and then when the power went back out, I would just read chapters until we got power again. So
Crazy.
yeah, no, I think like that series, like I know that that was kind of like an enjoyable moment in a dark time, but at the same time, I feel like it would be so much fun to read that again right now with just like how crazy that series is.
Yeah, I mean, there's some that I really like reading that are more recent that would be enjoyable, but if I had to go back in a similar vein, reread something that I had read during a crucial time, it would probably be Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay.
Because I was in college when I I had started watching anime a little bit here and there. I picked up like Soul Eater. I had rewatched a lot of the series that I'd watched when I was younger, like Bleach and Fully Cooley and Cowboy Bebop. But I was like, I kind of want to read because I used to always buy the Bleach manga when they came out. Same with the One Piece manga when I was a lot younger. I was like, kind of want to read something, and I bought the box set of Full Metal Alchemist, like in this sweet, full, like giant box that like Velcro open.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this thing is sick. And I read through all of it. I loved it. I was like, wow, I'm gonna go back and rewatch this too because I forgot how good this was. And then I watched the original Full Metal Alchemist, and then I watched Brotherhood, and I couldn't decide which I liked more. But that was probably like I attribute that to keeping my love for anime and manga alive because there was like a gap in time between probably like middle school going into college. So I didn't really watch much in high school, except for like one summer I got sick. My buddy gave me like every season of Bleach that was out. He was like, "Go watch it," and I was like, "All right, cool."
Have fun.
Yeah. Uh, but there was a gap in time for that period, and then I got back into it, like I said, in college, and then there was a large gap too between like the end of college into law school when studies were just taking over, and then what 5 years ago now, 5 6 years ago now, got back into it again, and have been deep into it since. So it was like a critical moment where I felt like if I didn't have this sudden urge to go back and rewatch old anime that I had watched and pick up new ones and then read the Fullmetal Alchemist series, I might not have been, it might have drifted away fully, and I could have lost it, you know, going into
Yeah.
my later years. So I think if I had the opportunity, I would probably go back and reread that entire series too. I mean, it falls into the bucket of like, if I kind of like one of those classic ones where everyone's gonna say that too about the anime because it's one of the best ever.
Yeah. I mean, it
But
definitely crossed my mind of putting it on those lists, and I was like, no, like that's
yeah,
not necessarily that it's generic and it would be everybody would do this, like because for good reason, it's a good spot or it's a good property to put into this type of category because it is that great of a show or that great of a series. So completely understand wanting to do it, but at the end of the day, I'm just like, you know what? It kind of almost has the same stopping power every time I watch it because there's something new that I pick up on each and every time. So it's like, you know what? I don't necessarily need to put it on the list because of that.
yeah.
So, for me, let's see here. I've got this other list. I'd really be lying if I didn't say this one. This is the probably the one classic on here that you could definitely roll your eyes, but it's one of those series that it's like once you know the twist, you're like, okay, there's no really going back from unknowing it, and you know that it's going to happen the next time you watch it, and that is Steins Gate. If
Mm,
I could go back and watch Steins Gate for the first time over again, I would probably fall in love with it all over again. That series, absolutely insane, absolutely incredible, wonderful storytelling. Yes, I know that it was a visual novel, which by the way, the visual novel is getting a remake later this year eventually. It
oh,
got pushed from last year to this year. So, yeah, the visual novel will be getting a remake later this year. So it'll be interesting to see some of the changes that they may make for I think the changes that they said is just updating the art and some of the UI menuing kind of type decisions. So regardless, still very curious how that goes out. But like, God, what a great series! Just both from the perspective of storytelling, character development, and just doing time travel correctly. Because it's so easy to screw up time travel, and I feel like this is like the best series we've ever gotten with time travel.
hmm.
So to go back and relive that, that would be yeah, I would absolutely, absolutely love to do that.
Similar vein, one that's on my list is Odd Taxi because I feel like
That's
that's yeah,
that's on my list as well, and I was just like, we'll see if it's because I knew we would have some crossover here. I just
yeah.
didn't know.
I threw extras on mine too, but
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, again, very similar in the sense of you know the twist already having watched it, but it's it it's one of those one series too where it's only 12 episodes, and I'm sure you could watch it 5 10 times and still catch little things here and there that you didn't gather onto in the previous time, like previous run through of the series. So
yeah,
um but it's again for me personally, it's one of those ones where early on it got me back into it when I went into my current swing of anime. It was one of the series that you had recommended to me. I think you're like, hey, you got to go watch this. You got to go watch this. And I was like, all right, all right, all right.
yeah,
And I did. And I was like, wow. Like, this was the first time I think I saw an anime that truly blew me away from like just how they were able to tell the story from start to finish in such a succinct manner. Because a lot of the times when you watch anime, you kind of see the writing on the wall at some point, or things jump the shark, and you're like, just let it end now. Like we got to wrap this up. It's just getting worse and worse. And
Yeah.
like watching through a lot of my old series, even the ones I love, I'm like, yeah, okay, come on, let's just get to the end. Let's go. Like, we got to wrap this up. It's getting tiresome. This was one of the first ones where I was like, wow, this is like a true drama series, like start to finish, heavy mystery, great storytelling. Love the characters. I love how they kind of narrate this world, and then obviously include the massive twist at the end. Like, from start to finish, I was
Yeah.
blown away. I was like, wow, this is what an anime can truly be. And we're getting more and more like that each and every season, which is like wonderful. I keep harping on, people should go and watch these, even if they think they're childish. In fact, there's one that I probably will actually recommend to my mom, if she
Oh.
needs it. Yeah, it's Journal with Witch, because I
Oh
feel like
God.
that's such a good. It's like a it's
It's
this is
such
a
an
this is
introspective
a side
show.
it's a side conversation, but like my mom knows
Yeah.
I does this, man. My brain is bad today. Um,
Dude, me too.
like she knows
It's
I do
fine.
the podcast and she knows I do content creation. She likes the stuff on social media too, which is funny in its own right. And she knows we go to conventions and do panels and stuff like that too. But she's still like she doesn't understand it. Like she doesn't get it. And I don't it's not something that I
Yeah.
ever like watched around the house with her, right? So she
Right.
was never it was always something that like she just saw as a bystander whenever I was, had it on as a kid. Um, but this would be a Journal with Witch, I think, is a perfect one for me to go and be like, here's a great series that you would love. Just ignore the fact that it's animated, because it's like a normal drama series that would be on Fox or CBS or ABC or whatever. Like it's
Yeah.
just done in an animated fashion. I might
I
have to
think
wait for it to come out in English, but
yeah, I don't think you'll ever get it in English, but
I know.
yeah, it's such a that again, if you don't know what we're talking about, Journal with Witch is a series that is out this season, the winter 2026 season. It is such a very introspective show. The symbolism that they use in it is just so great, and the fact that they can use similar symbolisms for the same thing but be completely different
Yeah.
is mind blowing to a degree. But yeah, no, that would definitely be a show of just like, hey, like if you need an adult show that isn't necessarily like kiddish or cartoonish and is very based in the real world, like this is definitely something
Yeah.
you can watch
But
or recommend. But
and that's what I attribute to Odd Taxi too, right? Because you could only
yeah,
do Odd Taxi as an animated show because they're all animals, and like it,
well,
again, but the storytelling and everything about it, the mystery behind it, the plot twists everywhere were all so well done. Like you could like listen to it or watch it with your eyes closed and just listen to it and get the same experience of watching something on like televised network that's not, quote unquote a kid show. So that was why, if I memory erased, Odd Taxi would be certainly at the top of my list to go back to. I
yeah, it's up there. God,
was gonna say one
so
that
I won't.
I can go to flip it and do
No,
a
I've.
bad one.
I
So
mean,
I have
we'll get
plenty of
to the
those.
bad tier shortly. I was gonna say there's another show that's kind of in this very same vein of just like once you know the twist, you're not gonna like
Ooh,
you can't really unsee it.
can I guess?
Something that I would like. I'm sure you know what is it?
Is it erased?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Just kind of on the nose for the whole like
It is,
look
but
into the light,
I would
please.
like. I don't want to get too far into it because I know you and I both like it, and we just be gushing over it again. But Pluto would be another
Oh,
one of those in
yeah.
the same vein, like that. It's such a great show and it's well done that
Yep.
it'd be hard to go watch it again in the sense of just like you're not you really don't learn a lot more than you watch the first run through. Like there
So,
are some things you'll probably learn some small details, but like other than that,
yeah.
eh.
So yeah, cuz the way I looked at it, and I'll segue it into one of my to for more clarity. But like I could have put in Orb on the movements of the earth, right? I could have
Right.
put in My Dress Up Darling. because we gush about
I
that
thought
too.
about it. I
So
definitely
the
thought
the
about it
thing
for
is though
putting it
is
in
that
for
like
reading.
like some of those series, like even Pluto to a degree, like yes, the twist is big, but like I would go back and just watch it because I'm sure, I'm like 100% certain that I missed a bajillion things that would make it equally as enjoyable as the first time, right? There's a lot of times I'll go back and rewatch something and actually as I'm watching it, forget the twist and when it happens. Like it'll kind of like click either right beforehand or it'll be like a oh yeah, that's right sort of moment like as it happens. But
Yeah, and there are some shows like that where I like definitely thought about putting it on the list as well, and I'm like, you know what? I don't really remember the details of this show that like it would probably be pretty fresh if I rewatched it. Like
yeah, I mean,
Angel Beats, there's not a whole lot that I do like. I remember that it's a very sad ending, but there's not a whole lot that I remember in between that I'm just like, yeah, I know it's a great show. I just don't remember why it's a great show. That and like Decadence. Decadence, I think, is a criminally underappreciated show that's on Hulu or was on Hulu. I don't know where it is now. But yeah, like that show too was something that was also very special and very
mhm.
unique and very different, and I remember some of the plot and some of the twists, but not all of it. And I'm like, that would be a good refresh of a show to rewatch again just because I don't remember all the details to it.
Yeah, I mean, I have shows like that too. What I was really focusing on, if I'm like getting down to the core of the shows that I picked, it's they have some tie either to like an emotional factor or it's just one of those viewing experiences where you really only can get it the first time through. Like I feel like I can get a lot of the same stuff watching through Orb just because of how incredibly done it is. Same way with Pluto. Again,
Yeah.
excluding the twist factor, which I mean, realistically, I probably don't even remember it in full context of what it happens. Like I know what happens, but I can't remember all the events leading up, and I can't pinpoint out all the different like points where the secrets are revealed. Once I watch it again, I'll be like, okay, here we go. Yep, I remember now. Um, but like that doesn't give me the same satisfaction as like if I were to blank my mind and rewatch Odd Taxi because the twist is like massive, right? Like and it sticks with you so it's like so ingrained now in my brain. Like I know exactly what the twist is. Like I can't there's no way to
Yeah.
get it out. So you want to have that erase. So that's why for one of my other ones, and this is on the emotional side more than anything, I picked Ranking of Kings. That
I
show
was I was just re-going through my list. I was like, this is an on hold show for me. I really need to go back and like watch that show.
I cannot recommend it more. I mean, we haven't talked about it in a while because I think the second core ended, God, like 3 years ago at this point. I think it's probably been that long.
Uh, I
Um,
can double check for you.
but it's Ranking of Kings stands out as one of those emotional ones where, yes, there's a lot that happens. There's plenty of twists and turns. You go through highs and lows with most of the characters just because of how well structured they are and written into the story they are. Like they make you want to hate them and then love them, or love them and then hate them. Like this back and forth pendulum between the characters is always superb. But there's just very specific scenes that stick out from an emotional perspective that you can't get rid of. And like watching it again, it's one of those ones where like I'll equate it to a movie. Like I can watch Forrest Gump millions of times. I'm gonna still cry at very specific scenes,
Yeah.
right? I can watch The Green Mile. I'm gonna keep naming Tom Hanks films, I guess. I can watch The Green Mile a million times. I'm
You watched
still
Toy
gonna
Story a million times. You can
maybe
still
not
cry
not
at the
not
same
Toy Story.
scenes.
Um, but like that's kind of the same feeling with Ranking of Kings, but knowing when it's gonna come, like when the scene's gonna happen and you're seeing
Yeah.
everything unfold and you're kind of like mentally preparing is different when it's kind of sprung out at you and you're like it's all reactionary, right? It's not like preparedness like okay, here comes the waterworks. It's a immediate jerk reaction, emotional response to what's happening. Like that you can't get a second, third, fourth time through. It really only happens the first time. And there were so many parts of Ranking of Kings where I had that where I would wish to just have that part of the memory like blanked out, like just Ranking of Kings. Let me go rewatch it fresh again because it was absolutely superb.
Yeah. Also, time is a flat circle. Ranking of Kings ended in March 25th, 2022. It's been
2022.
4 years.
That was
4 years, dude. My word.
that's crazy. So because it started then in 2021 because it was a 2 core.
That's yeah. No, it did.
Yeah.
It started in 2021.
So
God, I
it's been 4 years, 4+ years since it started. That's wild. That's wild.
it's
There
yeah.
was
It's
something, there
crazy.
was like a like Ranking of Kings treasures or whatever, treasure trove or something, which was just
Yeah, the side
the
stories.
side
That
stories.
was
Yeah,
2023, I believe.
yeah, but I really think I can't remember if it was an original or if there's source material. I think it's an original because I don't remember seeing anything about there being a manga or a light novel. But I could be
It
mistaken.
is. I would have to find it. Well, I'm on the page. I just have to find whether or
Oh,
not it's based off of
the
anything.
only thing I was going to say was where the story ended in the anime, not including the side story stuff. Obviously, there are presumably more stories to tell. I would imagine like where it leaves off
Yeah.
gives you the sense of there could be more yet to come. Um, it does leave off in a point where, as a viewer, I was satisfied, but it still left me with like, so you're gonna make more at least though, right? Like there's still you still have more to tell. Please, I beg you. Uh, but
Yeah.
it's
It is based off a digital manga.
oh, digital okay.
Yeah.
Then I would have to look at that. But yeah, Odd Taxi, or I'm looking at my list again. Odd Taxi, Odd Taxi, Ranking of Kings would be my top two for
Yeah.
sure.
Now, if I were to go to the same emotional level, I would probably get rid of from my memory Your Name. I watch that
Yeah,
movie, at least once a year, and I like you said, I cry during the same scenes no matter what. Just it's such a great movie that if I were to pick an emotional one, I'd put it there. But I don't want to go down that path, despite the fact that I've already put it out into the world. The one that I would actually put on this list because it is such an older property, and it still blows my mind that it was made in the early 2000s. And that is Perfect Blue, the movie by Satoshi Kon. Um, yeah, I wish I could forget about that movie and go rewatch it again because that movie is absolutely A, incredible, B, scary as shit, and C, it has aged like wine in the sense that it is more prevalent now, like this thematics and storytelling and what happens in it is more prevalent now than it was back then.
it
Like
aged.
granted, it was still very important, but like yeah, it aged very scarily well for what it was trying to tell, like the story it was trying to tell. And so I wish I could like wipe my memory, rewatch and be like, holy fuck, like and experience the fact that again, this movie that is over 2 decades old at this point is still so prevalent and is so scary in that sense. Because yeah, it basically like without giving any spoilers away, it deals around sorry, this released in 1997. Dude, this movie's nearly 3 decades
Well,
old.
I was about to say when you said it aged like fine wine, I'm glad that it is actually later than you thought because I was going to say it aged like the bathwater from Minority Report. Just seeing into
Yeah.
the future,
Like
what
it
30 years
revolves
30
around
years later it'll look like.
yeah, internet security and stalking via internet like
Oh,
type deal. So like it's still very prevalent in today's day and age for a movie made in the late
I
90s.
would argue it was somewhat clairvoyant to that end, but
Yes. No, it's absolutely insane, but no, I really like this is one of those movies that it's also like if I never have to watch this movie again, I'd also be okay with it because of how fucking crazy it is.
mhm.
But it is so, so good, but holy shit, is it on the nose. it is just like for today's day and age. And it again, if you've not seen it, it's an 81-minute movie. It's such a short movie. Go watch it. Like it's scary how well it aged in the worst possible way. But yeah, no, I would 100% wipe my mind and go see that again. If it I know it was in theaters last year for like a day, and it's been in theaters a handful of other times since I've seen it. It's just one of those things that I haven't had the time. Like whenever it releases, like I've already had something else planned that day that I can't,
Mm,
get out of. So I'm really hoping that it comes back to theaters for its 30th anniversary next year. Well,
that'd
it
be
says
cool.
release date's August 5th, 1997, but in parentheses it says Fantasia, which I don't know. Oh, is a film festival. It was a film festival, and then it released in theaters in 1998 in Japan.
Okay. Uh,
But
yeah, I don't
yeah,
I don't
it's
have a
so
lot of
good, dude.
films. Um, I like blanketly, I would just say the Ghibli films because there's just some nostalgia factor. I would say I watched a few of them when I was younger, but then most of them as an adult, and they're all great. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, if
I would argue against that just for the fact that I watched them as kids, so
you watched him, yeah, because it'd be if I was naming
it
any other
helped form
property.
my childhood. I would not trade that for the world.
Yeah, yeah. Because if I was naming any other like non-anime properties as a kid, I, I had a weird childhood. I didn't watch like normal Disney Pixar films as a kid. If I think the three most watched movies for me growing up were The Brave Little Toaster, which
Okay,
fucking
hold on.
horror
If that
film.
Yes, it's great, but also horrifying. Can I guess another one then?
Sure, I doubt you're gonna get the other two.
Okay, Land Before Time.
No,
Okay, because that was a staple in my household.
I mean I
The
watched
other
it, but no, I
Right,
like
but not to that
I will
extent.
almost I will guarantee you I'll buy you $1,000 worth of Japanese goods if you were to guess any of the other two that I'm going to name. And I'm not making them
Um,
up. These are the three that I watch the most: Brave Little Toaster, and then two
the
more.
only the only other one that I wanted to take a pop shot at was They're Back, A Dinosaur Tale
No, you're sticking
with
with dinosaur shit, man. I was not a
John
dinosaur kid.
Goodman.
No, I was not a dinosaur kid. No,
Oh man, you're missing
you're
out.
gonna think I'm weird. My other two were The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I should have known that. No, I should have known that because I know how much you love that
it's
movie.
it's I people can skewer me. All you Disney freaks out there, which I'm one of them, so shut up. You can yell and scream all you want about what I'm about to say, but I wholeheartedly believe this. Hunchback of Notre Dame has the best soundtrack out of any Disney film ever made to this day. Hands down.
Wild, but
Hands down. There's no way you can argue with that from start to finish. The best
Brum,
song,
brum, brum.
Hellfire. Yeah, you can't tell me that's not a banger. On the steps of Notre Dame. Yeah, like from start to finish. Great.
Yeah.
And the other one was Gargoyles, the movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good
like I
one.
said, I watched weird shit as a kid. I don't know why.
I
Well,
mean,
I
I
know
watched
why because
fucking
I was a
They're
weird kid.
Back, Dinosaur Tale.
Yeah, that'd be my wife. My wife was a big dinosaur fan, like Jurassic Park and Land Before Time and all that. I mean, like again, I watched Land Before Time. I watched all the other movies like Toy Story and God, I'm all the other like Lilo and Stitch,
Yeah.
whatever. Like all the other Disney films, but the three I watched the
Oh,
most were those three. Um,
it's called We're Back, a Dinosaur Story. Sorry
We're
for those of
back.
you who got upset about
Good
who
gosh,
got upset at me.
disgracing John Goodman's name like that. Um,
Right.
But my last anime related one that I would erase. This is just a personal favorite. And I think it's more just from the chaos factor of it all,
Oh
and
boy.
well, also because when I first started watching it, it was bit by bit as it was being shown on Adult Swim or Toonami. I mean,
Mhm.
and there was a time where I didn't even realize like the last two episodes were out because I kept watching the same handful of episodes back over and over and over again just because of when they were airing. But it would be Fooly Cooly. I think just because again,
Yeah.
it's so off the wall, it's so bonkers. It really in the opposite sense of like Odd Taxi and Journal with Witch, where we say like these are more akin to what a drama series would look like in an animated version. Fully opposite side of the spectrum, it's like this is what embodies like creative chaos at its core in an anime, where it's avant-garde, batshit craziness, doesn't have to make sense. The dialogue is all weird and fucked up. The
Yep.
story is question mark. It's hard to tell. Like the things are just getting thrown left and right as if it's just truths and you'll have to go with it. Like there's no sense to what's going on, but that's what makes it so enjoyable. Not to mention it's 6 episodes, right? So it's
Yeah.
the easiest thing to get through, but it's also the most difficult because you just don't understand what's happening.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I know that we've already done our 3, but I do want to shout out
You can give
an
honorable
honorable
mentions.
mention.
Yeah, go for it.
Uh,
I've
and
got
I
one.
know this is such a just like Frank, you're mad for this, but honestly, I'd blank myself and reread One Piece all over again. Um,
It's iconic.
I
It's one
think
of
that
those.
it's iconic. It's a modern classic. It's gone on for as long as it has because it is that good. I know
Mhm.
that like a lot more people will glaze it more than I do, but like it has been around for that long for a good reason, and it is justifiable as to why it takes so long to get to where they're going. Like it is a grand adventure for a reason.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, as an honorable mention, I would just say One Piece would definitely be a property that I wish I can just reread all over again. Just in time for whenever the finale is going to be, because I know last week they did the whole, you know, Oda wrote down what the ending is, like explaining the One Piece and what the D and Monkey D. Luffy stands
The One
for.
Piece is real.
Um, he wrote it down, stuck it in a treasure chest, and sank it to the bottom of the ocean in that PR stunt. So it's just like I know that just happened, and it's like that's a hype thing, but like,
Yeah.
god dang, like it's one of those things that if you have not caught up by now, you still have time. You still have time to do it. Please, for the love of God, do it so it's like you don't get the ending spoiled for you. Imagine a series running over 1,000 episodes, 1,000 chapters, and you thinking one day I'll get to it, one day I'll get to it, and then all of a sudden it ends, and then the ending is spoiled for you. It's just like I would be
I mean,
I would be so pissed.
that's how a lot of things get spoiled for people. Sorry, JJK fans and AOT fans.
Yeah.
Um,
But anyways, on to the bad. What are some we've got some pretty bad properties, I feel like, of just what we wish
yeah,
we could just forget ever
I'm
happened.
I'm not gonna give a lot of time to these because I don't think they deserve
Deserve it.
much explanation, and a lot of them we've already talked about. Again, my list is so few and far between of bad series because I just if I don't like a first episode, I'll usually just stop watching it.
Yep.
There's some of the series that we've watched for an episode to review, like for instance, Death
Yeah.
Parade. I was not a big fan of Death Parade. I didn't think it was that great. It's definitely not on my bad list. Like I wouldn't erase my memory of it. It was still like I'm glad I watched it, right, to understand why
Yep.
people enjoyed it so much. I just didn't click with me. But there are a handful where I'm like, no, I'm fine never having watched it and never wanting to watch it again. I think top of my list is probably Devilman Crybaby. I no part of me understood why people liked it apart from it just being very gory, and
Yeah.
that's kind of it. Like I think someone described it or I'd seen a description of it as avant-garde, and I'm like there's nothing avant-garde about it. Like you just randomly say devils walk among us and people can turn into them using this serum and then they go
Yep.
wild. And then I'm not going to spoil it for people if you haven't watched it, but there's like this twist ending and then it's done. And there's no payoff, there's no satisfaction. There's one scene that always stands out and I think it stands out the most for everyone because rightfully so it's iconic, but that's not enough to drive it to be like this 10 out of 10
As popular
success.
as it is.
Yeah. It's just it's I don't see any real appeal in it. Again, the story did not connect with me whatsoever. I honestly didn't even think it had a good story to begin with. Um,
Yeah.
the
Okay. I
characters
mean,
were
yeah.
frustrating. Yeah, I just no part of it made sense apart from, oh, it was gory, so that's why people thought it was like, ooh, super cool, super edgy, like, you know.
So yeah, I get that, and to me, I mean, I feel like my show for that, and I'm seeing it circulate more and more now, and I'm like, how is this circulating even more and more now? Tomodachi Game.
Oh,
Tomodachi Game is on this list. It's an
well,
awful fucking show,
tell me
and
about, yeah.
more now that I'm seeing on like TikTok and Instagram of just like underappreciated shows or like the best shows you've never watched on Crunchyroll. And Tomodachi Game is constantly on there, and I do not know how. That show is ass to the fucking worst degree.
Yeah,
I it,
it's
it
on my list too.
boils it boils my blood as to how bad that show is and how much I'm seeing it make its rounds now. I'm like, why? Why?
Well,
How? What? Who? In what right mind would anybody want to watch this shit?
we talked about it, right? It's like that genre is, I don't, it's like having just a tree ripe,
CTE.
ri I mean, yeah, that show specifically. But like the death game genre, right? The idea of staking your life against others in the fulfillment of some sort of end goal, whether it be freedom or money or whatever the case is, right? Like there's not a lot that get released season to season. I mean, thankfully we have an awesome one right now in Shobo Yugi,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Putting food on the table. Or
Playing death games to put food on the table.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that one's wonderful. I think it's really well done. I stylistically it's very appealing. I like how they kind of circumvent the inevitable gore you get in death games, right? Like that aesthetic to it. Like everything about it is great. And beyond that, there hasn't been much recently to that end, realistically. Unless you're watching like the Mr. Beast games or Squid Games again for the bajillionth time. Uh, so like this genre is like open for the pickings, and we get filled with all these really terrible series. So I guess Tomodachi Games was like just a step above most of the other ones, so that way it gets more credit and time in the spotlight for anyone who hasn't already seen it. But yeah, I mean, I agree. It's on my bad list too. It's a series that I wish I had never watched as well, because I was more intrigued with how people could say it was a good show, which is what kept me along, than I was in figuring out any sort of twist to it, which I'm going to do a part spoiler. There was no twist to it. The twist
Yeah.
was if there was one, it was a mediocre one at best, if I'm thinking of the quote unquote twist that occurs. But like,
I none of them were any good. None of the
yeah,
twists were any good. They all came out
it's
of fucking left field out of somebody's asshole. Like they were not well written, they were not presented well. They were all awful.
yeah,
And like I'm looking at so you know, on livechart.me, they don't call it death games, they call it high stakes games, probably for good
yeah,
reason. Like the last not even few, the last bunch of death game shows that have come out have been incredibly bad. You've got God's Games We Play, which was
oh god,
awful.
yeah, that's not
Tommy
good.
Arabi God.app, which
Yep,
was
also bad.
horrendous. Did not even know that this was a show. I'd never even heard of it. Run when we do seasonal just like this is what's coming out. Run for Money, The Great Mission. Never even heard of it. There was Tomodachi Game and then Battle Game in 5 seconds, Darwin's Game, which I watched Darwin's Game last year and that was not very good. It was like I think I rated it a 4 or 5
Which,
out of 10.
for anyone knowing, it's not the same as Darwin's Incident, the one that's airing right now for winter 2026. Different series.
Correct.
If you hear
And then there's
Darwin
just
and
like
think it's the two in the same.
yeah, not the same. And then like Kakiguri and a few other
Which
shows that I'm just like never heard of
Kakaguri's
these.
fine. It's I would argue that
It's
it's
just over the top horny, and that's about it.
well, I mean from the standpoint of like it is high stakes games, but it's death game adjacent
Yeah,
in the sense that it's just whether or not they stick around in the school, right? Like
right.
because you stake your actual like
That one would be the last one that I would say is like, hey, this was like an okay death game type show, and
yeah,
that was over 6 years ago at
right.
this point.
So yeah, to my point, it's like there's plenty of opportunity for us to get Like if you have a death game series, you're like there's not much competition, but
Yeah,
they're all
because they're
really
pretty
bad.
bad.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. But yeah, Tomodachi game, I still again, it's like I guess a small step up from all the other ones that you named off, Kakaguri aside. Um, which is why I guess it's circulating once more, but it does not deserve that because
No,
there's
no, it
there's
doesn't.
no
'Cause it-
real redeeming piece to it other than I
I
don't
would
know.
just say it's an irredeemable piece of media. That's my opinion. Is what that is.
It
So
is I
I
don't
really wish I could just blank that show from my memory and
I
just move
I
on.
bet you would I think you have more chips on the table on your end, no pun intended, just from the standpoint of I distinctly remember you like trying to like be like, no, 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 it's good. And like you got like halfway through and you finally got on my team and was like, oh no, this is bad. There was a period of time where I was kind of alone in the
Oh, I know.
Tomodachi game is bad
I
camp,
was
and
like,
then you
"Just give it
joined
some
in.
time. Just give it some time." I'm sure we can go back to past
Mine
episodes to, like, listen to it again,
mine
but
was already
god.
like I was already on like the side of like skeptic, and then it finally fully went over. Yours was a dramatic like, no, 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 it'll be good to just flip. This is hot ass. It's
Ass.
like it was so fast the transition.
Yeah. Let's just move on from it. It doesn't deserve any more time.
Yeah.
What else do you have?
My last like the last one. This is more of a joke than anything else because again, I don't really have a lot of
Well,
bad
I guess if
series
you've
I've
already
watched all the way
talked about
through.
one, I've or if you've talked about 2, I've only got 2 left
Let me
because
finish my last one because this is just a
fine,
dumb
fine.
one, and then you can rave and rant about your others. Mine was I've been killing slimes for 300 years and max my level. Just again, like I laugh about it because that video I made when they announced season 2, and I just put the
The how?
no, it was Steve Carell's character from The Office, Michael, just being like, "No,
Oh,
God,
no.
please, no, no, no," and just
No.
screaming. I put that over like the season 2 for Killing Slimes for 300 Meals and Maxing My Level is been announced, and people are like, "Why? What is wrong with it? It's good. It's a good slice of life." And I'm like, "It's a good slice of life if you just don't."
Never seen another slice of life ever in your
Yeah,
entire life.
yeah. Like if you're cool with the slice of life literally just being like if you were to put a camera behind someone's back for like a week straight and just recorded their everyday life and you watched that and that was your satisfying like, yay, that was good, then sure, go watch that because literally nothing fucking happens. Like nothing happens. Meets a girl, joins the house, meets the girl, joins the house, meets the girl, joins the house, and that was on repeat. Oh, the
Yeah.
the town has a festival coming up and they need help. Go help. All the girls assemble. Go help. Like there wasn't anything to it. There was one moment where I was like, "Ooh, conflict," and they just skipped it. Like, never mind. That doesn't matter. And I was like, "What?" Um, but yeah, that one's more just a humorous one for me because there's like a running gag with it now. But it is truly though, in terms of a slice of life series, it is, I guess, as slice of life as you can get, but in the worst way possible, in that just nothing ever happens in the anime. So I'm cool with it just being like erased entirely.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Let the gag end. Kill the gag.
The next one that like the next one that I'm just still pissed about, I still will say it never happened. I'm still waiting on a season 2.
Oh,
Promise Neverland.
yeah.
Promise Neverland season 2.
Can I,
What a monstrosity with all the puns intended in that sentence
teacher,
of a show that was.
teacher?
Yes, student. Yes,
Can I
child.
can I add a clarifier or like an asterisk to that as well? Because
Sure.
my honorable mention for bad are what I've
Mhm.
categorized as being our sophomore slump seasons. So our season 2s.
Mm,
There are a shit ton of season 2s that are awful. Like bad. I'm talking
yeah.
AOT, I'm talking Death Note, Promise Neverland, Dagashikashi season 2. I mean the list goes on and on and on about like season 2s that are just downright bad. After
Did you
having,
put Devil as a part-timer on that list?
oh God, I forgot about that one. I erased that one. I actually did erase from my memory. I Men in Black myself. You just brought the memories back. Thanks a lot, shithead.
Mhm.
Yeah, Devil's a part-timer is on there, season 2 for sure. There's like, there's a lot.
Boy, howdy.
There's a lot that just were so bad. It was always season 2s, and I never understood why. I'm like, how do you continue on from like incredible for like AOT, one of the best first seasons out of any anime I've ever watched. Death Note, an incredible series for the first half, like stellar. Promised Neverland, holy cow. Like twist after twist after
Absolutely
twist after twist.
incredible first season.
Yeah, Dagashikashi, that's just a personal favorite, but a lot of fun. Very cute story, enjoyable. All of them had absolute dog shit second seasons. Like horrendous second seasons. AOT's was so bad I stopped watching it. And I was so excited when season 2 got announced. Because this was back in the time where like I bought the DVDs. Like I bought the Blu-ray for season 1 and I'd watched it and I was like, oh man, this was incredible. Whoa, like I gotta wait for season 2. I can't wait for it to air. And I started watching it, made a Crunchyroll account, watched it, and I was like, holy shit, this is bad. This is bad. I'm gonna stop. This is so bad. And then yeah, Death Note, same reaction. I was like, oh my God, do I have to finish this? Can I pretend like this didn't happen? But yeah, like
Yep.
there's a large group, and I consider, again, honorable mentions because the list can go on and on and on. But like sophomore slumps for anime are like a real thing. I always attribute it to like football, right? You always say like second year player has a big incredible rookie season. Oh, they're in their sophomore slump. Don't worry, their stats will come back. Anime has the same fucking thing apparently.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you on that. There are certainly some that stand out more than others, but there are definitely shows that have better season
Oh yeah.
twos than most. Like I would say, just side tangent here. There are some season twos that I hold in higher regard than season ones.
Oh,
I
most
think
certainly.
the biggest one that comes to mind, really honestly, is Inspector, in/slash Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
That show, season one, started out very promising, and then the last 8 episodes or some shit like that was spent on one arc, and it dragged so badly. And then season two started, and it was like, this is what season two happened, and then it was like, that's what season one should have been. Should have been self-contained arcs, self-contained stories that were just a handful of episodes, and then move on to the next one.
Yeah. I mean, recent
but
one for a lot of
yeah,
people would be Solo Leveling too. I think Solo Leveling season 2 was like
yeah,
miles beyond better than season 1. I mean, season 1 was still fine, but it was nowhere near to the caliber of
yeah.
season 2, right? Like, but there's just been a lot of like very like AAA tier anime that have gotten the season 2 shits. And
Yep.
I'm just like, why? How did you mess up so bad?
What have you done to my
Yeah,
boy?
what have you done? You massacred my boy.
The last one I'll talk about, honestly, listen, I understand. No, I really don't actually
Just get
understand why
into it.
people like
Just
it.
say it first and then explain yourself.
So the last one I want to talk about, I gave it a 3 out of 10 when I did rank it, which was like a year or two ago, is Parasite the Maxim. And everybody's gonna cry, and if they get this far and they're gonna be like, Frank, how could you? Why? It's such a great show.
That's one of my
My
favorites.
it's one of my favorites. This is the type of show that like nowadays I realize I have zero patience for them. And that is the 90% of the show is narrated in the main character's head or is taking place in a conversation within their head because again it's a parasite, so they're talking to each other, but they're talking to each other inside the guy's head. Like they're not speaking words out loud. Like my patience for those type of shows has gone out the window. Like I don't have the patience for them. But like I stuck with that show because everybody's like, "That show's incredible! My God, I'm gonna cream the pants over this show. If I don't get anybody else to watch it, I'm a cream again." It's just like I don't understand. Not the sense of like I don't understand the show. I don't understand the appeal. to me, like, it's just ultra violence with just like, I need to, like, I'm a weak lad and I need to fend for my life now and escape these other people that are infected by parasites. There's no, it was bad. It was
Mm.
just not good. Like, it's just like, I'm walking around, do 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 do. Oh my god, I sense a presence. What should we do, little buddy? Oh, I don't know what we should do. You should approach it so I can kill it. Well, no, I don't want to do that because I'm a weakling human. But stop being a pussy and do
What's
it. Okay. Oh, you're a good guy. We can be friends. Yay, you died. Oh no, I'm so sad now.
what's so
Like, that
funny?
show is so fucking repetitive in that sense of just like, are they a good guy? Yes. Good guy dies or good friend dies. Are they good? Are they bad guy? Yes. Fight the bad guy dies, or bad guy runs away. It's rinse and repeat until the last one stands, essentially. Like, it's
What's
so bad.
what's so
I
funny
can't stand it anymore.
is if you didn't say the title, I could almost equate this to another series that I think both of you and I really like reading because it's not an anime yet. It's only a manga. But it is almost, as you were describing Parasite the Maxim, it's almost like a 1-to-1, which is hilarious to me. But this
Oh
this
boy.
series is actually really, really enjoyable and well written. It's Astro Baby. Tell me I'm
No.
wrong.
Okay, so first and foremost,
Can
you're not
sense
wrong.
the
Second
presence
off,
of things. Friends die. Villains either die or run away.
well, it's
It
because
has to
it's a knockoff of
consume.
it's a baby version. It's a baby version
Wow,
of
pun
Parasite the
intended.
Maxim.
Pun
Pun
intended.
intended. But
But it's
also,
really well done. Like
a
it's well done. Is the thing.
it's okay. It's
I
okay.
think it's really good.
It got forced into an ending, and that's the other thing is like,
Yeah.
it's a show that's a series that's complete. I don't know if it'll get an anime at this point. Maybe it
No.
will if they've animated everything else except for Comey Can't Communicate season 3. They're like, should we
Yeah,
do
they're
Comey Can't Communicate season 3 or Astro Baby or whatever the fuck it was called?
out as
You know what? Let's do
it's
this.
Astro
I
Baby,
think it
right?
was Astro
Yeah.
Baby.
Well, I can tell you one thing. They're
Yeah.
certainly not running out because they're animating a basically a hentai that's going to go on Crunchyroll or honestly probably High Dive
Yeah, I
in like a
know.
season or two. So that
I just want Comey Can't Communicate season 3. Damn it,
I
it's everything but. But yeah,
OLM.
no, Parasite the Maxim. I get it. I get the show. I understand the material. I just don't get the appeal. It's not a show for me. I'm sorry if you enjoyed it. Like, that's your opinion. Great. I just don't get the appeal of it
I
because
don't
90%, it's like that scene, or it's like that fucking clip of just like, I took Death Note,
I
and
take a potato chip.
I've taken
Yes.
no, I've taken
I
scenes from Death Note, and reposted it with only the portions where they speak out loud. I've edited out all of the talking inside their
the inner
brains,
monologuing.
and
Yeah.
and it's just silence the
Yeah.
entire time. That's what this show would be too, and it just like, at this point, I have no patience for them.
It's the
And I
equivalent.
stuck with it because everybody's like, "It's great." And I'm like, "No." After watching all of it, no, it's not. It's not great. It's a 3 out of 10.
I equate those shows now to like watching professional chess players and like hearing the inner commentary that goes through their brains. Like
Yeah.
that's all those shows are. It's like I got to move this piece because they're going to react with this piece, but I know my next move is going to be this one, and then within this many moves I'll have game, but if they account for this secondary move, I might be screw my like that's all those anime are. It's just it's inner monologuing as a professional chess player. There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry to ruin it for you for everyone. Um the thing I was going to say, oh no, I think I lost it though. Oh, I think I lost it. You were mentioning Death Note and all that, and I was gonna
Yeah,
say
and
something
the
else.
scene where they took out all the inner monologue, and it was just the parts that were said out
No,
loud
yeah,
and the
sorry.
huge
Yeah,
gaps
it
of
came back to me.
silence.
I don't want to. I don't want this comment to sound like we're hoity-toity, snotty, like anime elites or anything, but we have in a way said it before. I think we're out of the need to have action and
all the time.
gore and like intensity to have an anime be good. And now we're to the point where like, ooh, I like one that has a really well written story, or ooh, I like one that like flexes its imaginative, and creativity, right? Like I'd rather have those than like this one has the most amount of blood ever shown in an animated sense. This is the most blood ever. Like, no, no Togen Anki. I'm okay. Um, I just it's I think part of it is that, and granted, like Death Note and obviously Parasite the Maxim it came out well after Death Note, but there's like a handful of those series during that time. We'll call it the edgy emo lord
Like
era.
Future Diary type series.
Yeah, where like that was there was an appeal. Like there was a draw to having like the super cool inner monologuing and the like super intense
Yeah,
gore factor. Oh my god. Like there was an appeal to it, but we have matured. We've grown to
matured.
get past the $2 bottles of wine and now we're at the $10 bottles of wine. Right? Like our palates are more refined when it comes to our anime that we select. So it doesn't surprise me that, Parasite the Maxim would be on there. And honestly, I mean, like, for me, I was partly wanted to put Death Note just itself, like all of Death Note, as like a cool if it gets erased. Because again, apart from the first half, the second half of the anime was kind of dog shit. Like it went it started to sniff its own butthole and got lost up its anus. It was kind of one of those unfortunate things. It got too
Yeah.
full of itself and it just went right up the butt. And I'm like, all
I
right,
do
well,
appreciate you saying that my anime tastes have matured while I'm watching just a bunch of shitty shows this season for
that's a
fucking
that's a
God
your
knows what
but that's a
reason.
your problem. And we've talked about this. I am selective. I will drop a show if I don't like it. There's like 5 that I was really hopeful for that I think I'm dropping because I'm just like, no, you weren't good enough. I'm sorry. There's plenty of other ones that I would rather prioritize over you, and I might get back to you at some point, but your first episode was garbage. You are just like, is there an English dub? Can I put it on in the background while I work? Cool. Hit play no matter how shit it is. So that's a you problem. I do not suffer from that same thing, sir. Do not try to group me
Yeah.
with you.
Well, if you've suffered this far into the episode, thank you so much for joining us this week. We greatly appreciate it. We will be back next week with a brand new episode. But if you want more of us, please go follow us at Bakacopodcast on social medias, wherever you get your social medias. And there you can visit our link tree to find our Discord, where we do have a very small community on there, but we do talk, a couple times a week about various different things. I know that this week I've already brought up the fact that I've gotten into watching Doctor Stone, and for some stupid reason, Crunchyroll, while watching the movie that links or the episode that links seasons 2 and 3, after watching that, it decided we're gonna watch season 4 instead of season 3, and it's like, why, Crunchyroll? Why would you do this to me? Why would you spoil some things about the fuck
I
that just happened?
don't talk to me
I
about them. They they
Yeah.
they haven't even released the latest English episode for You and I Are Polar Opposites. So I'm just like, sorry, wife, we don't have
Wonderful.
something to watch tonight for dinner. I guess we're watching something random. So
Yeah,
thanks,
but
Crunchyroll.
again, if you visit any of our social medias, we have our link tree there. You can join our Discord, join the discourse in there, and talk to us and say why you think our picks were stupid or good, and what you think you would love to get Men in Black to in the sense of memory erased. We will be back again next week with a brand new episode. But until next time, Spark Triumph. We'll see you then.